Welcome, everyone. I'm excited already to have you here today. In case you are joining us newly, we are working on day 5 of how to fix your business. I'm excited already. In case you are joining us newly, my name is Michael ABANYE, and this is True Lessons in Motion podcast. Here, we actually help entrepreneurs, business owners, entrepreneurs, people that work in organizations with an entrepreneurial mindset to what? Build their business, grow their business, and also what? Create wealth. In other words, grow, scale, and create wealth. That's what we're all about. Now, in case that is what you like or that is what you are interested in, please hit the subscribe button. You are about to learn something that is actually going to be transformational. I can assure you, today is going to be awesome. Awesome. I'm excited already. And let's get down to the business of today. Today is our day 5 of our how to fix your business. Now, have you wondered why most of the time people have skills, potential, you have business, but the challenge is you are limited to only one source of income, which is not supposed to be so. Because the reality is you can actually, with the same skill and the same business, create multiple sources of income. It does sound like what you're interested in. Stay with me. We're about to unravel that area. Now let's look at this. How to turn your skills or business into consistent income. Wonderful. How to turn it into consistent income. In other words, you don't need to be limited by just one source of income. I know how this thing feels. I've been there before. Most of the time, you begin to wonder, I only have this one source, this skill, and it's only one particular kind of client I can only target. No, not at all. That same skill, that same business can actually generate multiple sources of income, not multiple struggle. Now, let's be clear on this. Not multiple struggle, multiple source of income. That's what we're about to clarify in today's live session. Now, let's get down to the business of today. Now, let's get down to the slide. The first slide here says, one skill or business, multiple income streams. One skill or business. In case you are an entrepreneur working in an organization and you have an entrepreneurial mindset, that is what? An entrepreneur. Then in case you are a business owner, you are what? An entrepreneur. So we are focusing majorly on this set of people tonight. I'm excited already. Now look at this. Now you rely on one way of making money. When sales drop, everything stops. Income is unstable. The truth of the matter is this. In this our current day, Africa, Nigeria, even the world at large, relying on one source of income is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Bygone and those days, they will tell us that what? Put all your eggs in one basket and what? Monitor that basket closely. That does not work in this time around. Because a lot of things have changed. It is true, but it's not completely true. Now, let me quickly show you something. Now, just imagine you have a skill. You sing. And let's say, for example, you sing in your church or in any Christian gathering or in any gathering of yours, and you have a wonderful voice. Awesome voice. People love your song. When each time you sing, they love it. Then they now ask you, where is your album? You say you don't have. Yes, you have been paid for coming to sing live, or in case you are even an instrumentalist. But you've not been able to package that your same skill into what? A product and a service that you can actually what? Sell. Do you see why I said you can have one same skill can actually do what? Generate multiple sources of income. That's just a typical example. Now, let me quickly share a story with you about one of my mentors I follow online, Dr. Charles Akpoki. Now, during the Mayfair, which is Workers' Day, that just passed a couple of days ago, I think that should be about 5 days ago now, he actually organized a seminar. Now, look at it. Now, Dr. Charles Akpoki organized a successful seminar. People came in and paid to attend the seminar. That same seminar sold his books. That same seminar, after he's done with the program, the seminar itself, he is now putting that particular seminar as a course and as a product and service to sell. Do you see why I say it's not about multiple struggle? It's about asking yourself, this one skill I have, how can I multiply it? Not struggle, but creating different streams. That's the story of Dr. Charles Akpoki. Now let me quickly share another story with you about one of my daughter's classmates. My daughter's classmate in school, the maths teacher. Now look at what this man does. Now this man teaches maths as a full-time employee in the school. But then, this man also organized maths lesson on Zoom for the GS session and the SS session. On Zoom, on weekends only. And we'll pay a token to attend that Zoom class. Same skill, multiple income. Now look, let me shock you. He can also go further by also writing books on how to pass your maths. So there are different streams you can access. That business of yours. Can you just sit down and ask yourself, how can I use that same business to reach out to other kind of product and service? The same business, the same service you are rendering, meeting the same customer, giving them a different form of service that can also align with what you're already offering. In other words, if somebody comes to your office, let's say, for example, you are a provisions, let's say you are a shopping mall. Now, do you see now that nowadays a shopping mall business, now there's what they call all together in one. In fact, now there's a new brand in Benin, precisely in Nigeria, where they tell you about, they call it village market or market square. Anything you can get to buy in the market, in the local market, you can get it to buy there, and many more. You can get to buy your local things like your food, all the raw materials, you can get them to buy. The fish, the meat, you can get them to buy. Now, they also went ahead also to have all the provision, you can get it to buy, even clothes. You see now? So, same customer, but multiple sources of income. So, my audience today, what you need to ask yourself, if you are doing business, sit down and ask yourself, how can I use the same office, the same customers I already have, and create another form of service that I can actually generate a different streams of income currently from what I'm already doing. Like, for example, I teach like this online. I do consulting. I also speak. These seminars, these webinars that you're watching live now are also going to be turned into a book. So you can say about 4 channels. So you can begin to think, this same thing I'm doing, how can I multiply it into different streams? This thing is very important. And most times I see people with beautiful talent, wonderful talent, but you are just stick to one source of income. And when that source dried up, you are confused. So tonight, we are correcting that tonight. Type in the comment section, I am changing now. I'm excited already. Now look at this. It says, when sales drop, everything stops. Income is unstable. High earners don't depend on one stream. Don't forget, I told you about the story of one of my mentors also I follow online, Dr. Charles Akpoki. One seminar, different streams of income. Books, courses. He also does speaking. One seminar. So you have to begin to think. That's why you see here, they say, high earners don't depend on one stream. The business you are doing now, ask yourself, which other service or product can I also offer? Not more struggle. The same office, the same set of customers, but reaching out to more of what they want. We call it the value chain. Very, very critical. Now let's look at this. Now, if you have a skill, for example, let me also explain this quickly. Now, I have a family friend of mine. She's a chartered accountant by profession. Now, before now, she used to help us to come and audit our books on a weekend basis. Now, she has a full-time job. But by the side, she does what? Weekend auditing. And not only our company, but she also has about some few companies also that she does that for. So the same skill, multiple sources of income. This is very important. So whatever it is you are doing, ask yourself, how can I translate this to multiple sources of income? Now look at this. Now, if you run a business, you have a core offer. I've explained this earlier. In that business, have what is called VIP. In case you are in the service industry, this is VVIP. This is VIP. And this is what they call it what? The premium. Just like comedy, all these comedians. Like for example, AY has different tickets. In his comedy, his AY show, he has what? Table for two, table for this, different categories. So he's able to reach a wider audience. The same service, but multiple sources of income. So this thing is very critical. So you need to ask yourself, what I am doing now, this skill I have, how can I translate this skill into multiple sources of income? If you are getting value, type, I'm getting value. I'm already excited. This is very, very important. Now, most of the time, we also need to understand this very clearly, that the kind of problem you also solve determines the kind of income you can generate. Very important. So the problem you solve determines what comes to you. The bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. Very, very important. And one of the things that have amazed me, now let me quickly show you slide 2 here. Very, very important. Now look at this. And one of the things that amazed me is this. The same amount of time it takes to make 100,000 is the same amount it takes to make 1 million. For our global audience, the same amount it takes to make what? $100 is the same amount it takes to make $1,000. So look at this. High value problem, high income. You are busy but not making real money. Clients don't pay premium. Look at this now. Clients what? Don't pay premium. The reality is this. Income is tied to the level of problem you solve. Can you see what I'm trying to explain to you? So the kind of problem you solve determines what comes to you or the value you can draw from it. Now look at this example. Now someone that solves shelter problem. In other words, estate developers that build structures, buildings, and the agents that are into rental. They are solving the same value chain problem, but they don't make the same money. Can you see now? They are solving what? Excuse me. The same value chain problem, but they don't make the same money. So the kind of problem you solve determines what comes to you. That's why most of the time, recently, I have to sit down when I was doing my revolution this year. I'm into property management business. It's one of the business we do. I have to sit down and look at what are the properties that actually takes more of our time, energy, and effort, but with little premium value. We decided this year to drop all that does not give us premium value for our time and stick to the ones that give us more value. Now, one of the things I've come to realize in life and in business is that most of the time, the services or the business that you render that are premium, they don't give you as much headache as the one that is the mass market. Sometimes people have attacked me. Why am I? Is it that I'm attacking the poor? No, 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 no. I've been there. I know what it is. But the mindset is different. And that is why you see most of the multi-millionaires and billionaires, they strategically look for the bigger the problem, the bigger the reward. In other words, they position themselves in a way that they can offer premium service. The same amount of time, the same amount of blocks, the same amount of cement, but premium reward. This thing is very, very important. So we need to begin to ask ourselves, whatever it is we do, the service we render, how can we draw quality value from it? And it starts from the kind of problem that you set out to achieve. Typical example I've given to you. The estate developer and the agent that is doing rental, they don't earn the same money, but they are in the same value chain business, the same business. So, my audience, when you are structuring your skill, when you are designing and improving and sharpening your skill, you need to ask yourself, how am I positioning my skill in order to attract maximum return? Dr. Louis used to say something that I love so much. He said, look, nobody grows, everybody grows old. And time is the most valuable resource. You can't buy it over. So it's critical. So you must ask yourself, this business of mine, in case you are about to enter the business that I want to go into, ask yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how will this business look like? And who are the people I'm setting out to package this product and services for? Because the kind of problem you solve determines what comes to you. I'm tired of everywhere. You are busy, but nothing. I've been there. So I'm not here to indict anybody. I know what I've been through. It's not about being busy, about sitting down to ask yourself. It's about the 80-20 principle. Most of the time, the crowd, the activity that's really taking you time, that's stressing you out, gives you less than 20% of the result you are getting. And that's the truth. So you need to ask yourself, what problem am I called to solve? Type it in the comment section. What problem am I called to solve? Very, very important. Now look at this. I'm excited about this already. Now look at it. It says income is tied to the level of problem you solve. Small problem, small money. Big problems, big money. Do you see why people like Dangote always get richer? And one of the tragedy of life is this. The rich are getting richer. I don't know why. But it's in the Bible. Why? Because the ones that have, they are getting more. But the ones that don't have, even the little they have, most time is is being transferred to the rich. So you need to begin to position yourself, and it all starts from your mind. What problem is this my skill or this my service solving? Very, very critical. Very, very. Now look at the transformation. It says, focus your product or service on urgent problems. And what are the basic necessities of life? Food, shelter, clothing. Someone said, we've now added technology to it, which is true. But food, shelter, clothing. Now, if you look at most, okay, let me add the other one that my friend said, technology to it now. If you look at most of the multi-millionaires and billionaires in the world, even let's bring it down to Nigeria precise. Look at the life of Dangote. They solve urgent problems. They are not in love. Dangote is not in love with gasoline or the fuel or the gas. No. But he understands that as long as human exists, and what you drive your car or you run your plant daily, you must buy his product or service. As long as you want to eat, look at the strategy now. You must what? Buy his sugar or his indomie or whatever. As long as you need shelter, you want to build. Can you see the strategy? You must buy his cement. Wonderful. So do you see the way these people position themselves? Now it's what? Urgent problems. You need roof over your head. You must eat. You must transport. Because what? You must drive your cars. Do you see the strategy? So these things are very, very critical. So you must ask yourself, costly problems, results-driven outcomes. In fact, the bigger the problem you solve, the higher the tendency for you to earn. And that is why you watching us today, in case you are wondering, how do I make my skill make multiple source of income? This is the thing. So it's not about your skill. You must ask yourself, have I sharpened my skill enough to be able to position myself to solve big problems or premium service? Very critical. I have always believed. One of my mentors told me something. He said, what is the essence of being the CEO of a 10 million naira company? 100% you own it. And being what? A CEO, co-owner of what? A 200 million naira company. Which one will you go for? Type in the comment section. The CEO of a 10 million naira company. You are the El Shaddai, you are the chief executive officer, backward forwarding and clearing forwarding. You have 10%, 10 million naira worth of all your company put together. Then you want being a co-owner of a 200 million naira worth of company. Co-owner meaning you have 50%, the other has 50%. Which is better? So this is how these people think. You must be strategic while you also working on your skill. These are the things. So why your skill is not making what? Multiple source of income, this may just be the reason. So what problem are you already solving? How can I begin to use that same skill of mine to create other source of income? We've identified that in our slide 1. Very, very important. Now let's quickly go to this. Now look at it. He said the key line here says, the bigger the problem you solve, the higher you earn. And look at it. Build trust, reduce risk, win clients. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence closes deals. Be the clear choice, attract premium clients. Grow your business. Whatever it is you are doing, that's your skill. Ask yourself, how can I use that skill of mine to create multiple sources of income and offer premium service? This is very, very important. I'm already excited about this. Now, the next thing we need to look at, how did you package that your product and service? Most of the time, packaging is key. I tell people this a lot. Yesterday, if you were in our live session yesterday, I said something. People size you before they price you. They will first size you up before they price you. And that is why, as a business person, you cannot afford to be casual in the way you dress. You cannot afford to be casual in your packaging. You can't afford to be casual in your office. Because people size you before they price you. I have to share the story about this great man in Nigeria, Femi Otedola. You need to get his book, Making It Big. When you're talking about the perception, someone drove down, you need to check out that video, and was quickly able to perceive the person and price him low. Very, very critical. So you must be very clear on how you package your product and service. In fact, someone said that a well-packaged product that does not have much value, but it has high quality packaging, most time will sell faster than a product and service that don't have the right packaging but have quality product. Because the truth of the matter, people buy what they can see. So that's your skill. Ask yourself, how am I refining my skill to create multiple sources of income? Very, very important. So this thing is very, very critical. Let me quickly share my third slide with you. Now look at this. Excuse me. Now look at it. It says package your products, service like a business. Sometimes I see people when in the course of their business, they don't mind. They just say, no, as far as I have quality, I'm delivering quality. People will buy. No. We must understand, people first pay for what they see before what they will experience. Let them first see and perceive it as something of value. Then before the quality also will now crown your efforts. So packaging your product is very critical. In fact, I've seen some wonderful people, well-talented people. And I will always tell them, look, sometimes there are places you go to, you cannot afford to dress casual. You cannot afford to look anyhow casual. No. It's a risk. Because what people size you before what they price you. Very, very important. Now look at this. You sell randomly. People compare you with others. You look at the risk. Now, sometimes your product and services can be top-notch. But because the way you are packaged, your packaging is not packaging. Your packaging is not top-notch. Anywhere you are watching us live, anywhere in the world, Africa, here in Nigeria, most of the challenge we have in creating multiple streams of income with our skill or our business is as a result of our packaging. I learned this thing years ago. In fact, most of the time I take the pain to go to places to expose my mind. Very, very important. So how do you package your product and your service? Now look at it. Unstructured offers look cheap. Structured offers look premium. Can you see that? When you are not well packaged, you look cheap. You need to check out our video or yesterday video, how to attract high-paying clients. You need to watch that video. You look cheap. That is why you are not getting premium clients. That's why you are not getting the real money. Hope you know. Now let me shock you. I love this lady a lot, Mercy Chinwe, and my great man that I followed also, Nathan Abasi. They have packaged their products, have packaged their skills into product and services, and they're generating what? Income. Now don't forget, one source of income from there is when they sing live. It may be in any form of administration. The other one is when they also put up their music talent online. The other form again is when they also put it or package it in an album form. You see the different streams. The same song. But do you know that some of you looking at me here, some of you can sing better than Nathan Abasi. Some of you can sing better than Mercy Chinwe. But how come they are the one getting the money? So it's not about how good you are. Most times as a result of the way you package yourself. And you don't need to start big. You don't need to be Mercy Chinwe overnight. There's a process. You don't need to be Nathan Abasi overnight. The little corner you are now, how are you packaging yourself? Very, very critical. So when people appear casually in some certain function that can actually launch them, I begin to wonder they don't get how this thing works. Your packaging is as good as your perception. Once people perceive you cheap, they will price you cheap. And sometimes you will say, I'm even better than this. It's not about being better, but who is well preserved and packaged. Very important. Now look at this. So the transformation says, turn your service into a clear package. Can you see that? Define what your deliveries. Let people know what to expect. Clear timelines, specific results. Can you see that? So you must design what people already have an expectation of what they are going to get based on the way they perceive your product or your service, based on your packaging. So when people are saying, I can't generate multiple streams of income, I tell them, look, your perception matters. Your packaging matters. Same thing can be sold in a local place for as cheap as $10. in a place that is well packaged. When you enter there, the first thing that greets you is the AC. That same place can be sold for $20 or $50. The same product. Why? Packaging. Very, very critical. Look at this. The killer here says people don't pay for effort, they pay for what? Results of how they perceive you. They pay more for what? How they perceive you. They don't pay for effort. They pay more for value that they perceive as premium. Very, very important. So we must begin to tweak our mind. When people are not getting this thing right, I begin to wonder, you don't get it. You need to sometimes see that when we are sharing information like this, people sometimes do not understand. Because we know how this thing works. I have been there. I know it is. So I'm also sharing it from my own depth of experience and from research. So why am I not getting consistent multiple source of income? This is the reason. We've established that in our slide 1 and slide 2. Out what? Same skill, multiple source of income. Very critical. Now let's go look at the point 4. You say what? Consistent income comes from repeated sales. Now let me shock you. Now when a customer comes to you the first time, it's a great feeling. Now the first time does not make you profit. No. What makes you profit is what? Consistent purchase. Very, very important. So consistent income comes from what? Repeatable value. People should be able to trust what you offer. And they are sure that each time they come, they will get repeated value. That is why banks, for example, like UBA, Access Bank, GTB, they are doing great things. Why? Because they have repeated value. Each time you go there, the same structure, the same service, you will meet. Don't tell me they are big. No. They are, no. In fact, nobody grows big overnight. They all started from somewhere. So you need to begin to ask yourself, when a customer comes to me, how do I make sure this customer come back? If I offer my skill, as a result of my product and service to this client, how do I make sure this particular client of mine keeps coming back? You are always chasing new clients. No. Income is unpredictable because you have not been able to create consistent income that comes as a result of repeated value. I have shared an example with you. Nathaniel Bassett, consistent value. Online, offline, you know what you're going to get. Consistent value. The business you are doing now, ask yourself, if someone comes there tomorrow, after they've purchased from you today, will they get the same value consistently? This thing matters. You cannot be cold today and be hot tomorrow. No. It scares them. Very important. Look at the reality. Say consistent income is built on what? Repeated customer. We have talked about this. Ongoing value. Now look at this. It says retainer services, monthly value, steady income plans. Now let me shock you. In case you are a creator watching this live, now let me shock you. Now, did you know that once you are monetized on YouTube, we have what you call your community member, of which most of the time we will have create a stipend payment plan on a monthly basis, whereby they have to pay to become a bona fide community member. That is the structure. The same thing you are doing, the same talk you are talking, and they are paying monthly. So monthly subscriptions, very important. Now, ongoing support offers, long-term relationships. Now, let me shock you. I tell my team members this a lot, and I think you need to practice. In case you are a skilled person, and also in case you are a business owner, this is very important. It's something you learn a lot from that, because the challenge is this. Most time, I tell my team, I say, look, my admins and my front desk, I say, look, when you call the customer, we have our format of calling. You are not calling because you want them to come back and buy. You are calling because you genuinely care about to hear from them, to know how they are feeling. In fact, most of the time, I tell my team members, our secret in our business for a couple of almost a decade ago now is follow up. And genuine follow-up. Genuine, not because you wanted to go, no. Because people can perceive if you're actually genuine or not. So when you follow up, and most of the time we don't want that for us. Because of that single call, maybe someone you just reach out to someone, and that particular person, maybe he's in the hospital, it's not fine. And because of your call, he was encouraging us, by the time he wants that particular area of product and service, who do you think he will patronize? Why? Because you have built a follow-up structure. You have been able to make him understand that you are now family, not just a client or a customer. So if you are a skilled person, when you offer service to your client, please follow up. This is one big challenge I've seen. In fact, recently I wanted to do a job. The person did the job before. And because the job he did, though there were some complaints, which I told him, it wasn't too, and it was not turning up. When I had the opportunity to do another, I didn't give him. I have to go and do somebody else. So these things matters. If you are a skilled person, why are you not getting multiple sources of income? This may just be the reason. From that same business you are doing, you are complaining customers are not coming, and you are not able to integrate and say you can create multiple streams from the same business, from the same skill. We've established that from slide 1 and 2. You need to watch this video from the beginning. This may just be the reason. Follow up on customers. Don't be a one-off buyer. If you are bought, you are bought. No. Growth comes, consistent incomes comes, as you can see in this slide 4 here, for what? Repeated purchases. Look at it. Retainer services, monthly value, steady income, subscription plans, recurring payments, predictable cash flow, ongoing support offers. This is why I'm talking about customer service follow-up. Long-term relationships. People care genuinely about businesses that care about them, not just about their pockets. Please get this. Most of the time, the skilled people, even some business owners, are only interested about the customer's pocket. Question: if you are the one, how will you feel? So this follow-up is, and it's cheap. And for us, it has been one of our greatest, I call it our secret weapon. Follow up. Each time we follow up a customer I've not seen, because we have different batches. Customer I've not seen for 3 weeks, for 1 month, and what have you. Each time we reach out to, if for example we reach out to like 20, most of the time research have proven, from my own personal experience, I'm not telling you from Charlie, we always have at least minimum 3 to 5 of them coming the other week because of that single follow. Just like a customer you've not seen for a month, because you genuinely will show interest to know about their welfare. They are now coming back the other to say thank you for calling, and we're coming to do business again. So when most time people complain, how can I create multiple sources of income? We've established that already. These are the areas that you have to begin to look at. And look at this. Key line. One-time payment is survival. I said this. Repeat income is what leads toward consistent multiple source of income. Very, very critical. So you as a skilled person, you as a career person, you as a business owner, I ask you today, that same business you are doing, that same place where you are working, can you just sit down and ask yourself? Because most of the things, challenges I've seen in business, that people are involved in multiple struggle, not multiple sources of income. I'll give you a clear example by the story of Dr. Charles Apoki. Also, I'll give you a clear example by the story of one Nathaniel Bassi. I'll also give you a story also by the story of even a man that is down to earth that we can actually relate with easily, no matter the level you are, by my daughter, maths teacher. The same skill, multiple sources of income. You need to watch this video from the beginning. So you need to ask yourself, this skill that I have, this job I'm doing, this business I'm doing, the skill I've developed from this particular job or from this particular business, how can I use the same skill set to create multiple sources of income? This thing is very, very doable. Tell yourself it is doable. Type in the comment section, it is doable. I'm excited already. In case you are watching us, this community here is about what? Creating businesses, growing, scaling, and creating wealth. In case this sound interesting to you, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, share this so that more people can get to know about it. Most time I'm actually perturbed because looking at the economic situation in the world, one source of income is risky. The same business you have, the same skill set you have, you can actually use these to create multiple sources. And what we're sharing today. Very important. And look at the summary of today's teaching. The 4 deep transformational points. Look at it. The system that creates consistent income and business growth. Wonderful. I love this. Now look at it. One skill or business multiplies income streams. Look at it. Build a system. Offer multiple solutions. The same solution you have, create different types. VVIP. Let's start with the premium. VVIP. VIP. Create it. You are selling product, or if you are selling product, have a package in such a way that you will say this is a premium package. And this is what the VIP package. It's perception. Sometimes it's the same product, but just the way you package it. So simple. Sometimes even the premium package, you can even say we'll do the delivery to you in your office. All the cost is charged into it. Premium service. This package is perception. Now look at this. He said what? Create multiple income streams. So we established that. Now look at the second one. He said, the higher the problem, the higher the income. I don't want to talk much on this. We have established it already. An estate developer and an agent doing renter, they don't earn the same, but they're in the same business. Now look at it. Why am I talking about this? Because I'm into this business. I know how it is. Now focus on solving big, urgent, costly problems. I've established it by the story of Dangote. Urgent, big problems. Don't say I'm not Dangote. Yes, everybody cannot be Dangote, but what you are doing now, ask yourself, that your skill set, can it solve an urgent problem? I've just shared with you about the story of my daughter. We needed her to learn about maths more. And the uncle was solving that problem. And the result will pay. To me, it's an urgent problem because we needed her to understand maths very well. So whatever it is you are doing, ask yourself, how can I reach out to people in such a way that this particular problem they have is urgent enough for them to be willing to exchange what? Money for it. I have told you yesterday that what? Money is an exchange for value. Simple. Now, deliver results, driven outcomes. Very important. Now, number 3, it says, package your product and services like a business. I've shared the story with you about a lady singing, and she does not have an album that people can actually exchange for money. But they love her voice. And each time she sings, they will tell her, thank you very much for singing. Your voice is lovely. Do you have an album? No, I don't have an album. So how would you be able to exchange that skill of yours and monetize it? So that's the problem many of us have. Now look at this. Deliver value. Get paid what you are worth. As I said that, before you can get paid what you are truly worth, all depends on perception. Packaging. Very important. Now, number 4, I say, consistent income comes from repeatable value. Create repeatable value. Deliver ongoing results. Can you see that? Build long-term relationship. I have shared my story with you. Enjoy consistent and predictable income. Now look at the clear package here. Talk about what? Consistent income is equal to what? Premium value is equal to what? Business growth. Whether you are a skilled person, you are a professional, this thing matters. Deliberately what? Building relationship with your clients. Very, very important. Now, all what we have shared today, for some, they will ask, how can I apply all what this man has said? We have made it very easy. Now, most of the time, we understand that people actually love knowledge, but the challenge is what? The application. How do I apply into depth what I have shared today? And that's why we came up with this offer. Now, this is not for everybody. For the people that genuinely are interested, You can reach out to us. Look at it. It says, let's work together, turn your knowledge into results. And what's our solution here? What we offer is this. We help entrepreneurs, just like you now watching me, entrepreneurs. That's the people working in an organization already, but they have an entrepreneur mindset. And ambitious professionals build income, clarity, and growth. Very important. So they can live a better life on their own terms. I'm just rushing down from somewhere from one of the meetings now to get to this stage. Why? Because we have systems and structure in place that actually what that is helping the business. This is not what all I do. I do many other things. But because there are some systems and structure in place, that's why I can be here to talk with you. So in case you want to know how do I apply what I am teaching, now you can do us a favor. Send a message to us on WhatsApp. It's 08085469491. Because of time, I don't want to waste much time. You can take the information down on the screen now or reach out through our website, michael@abanye.com, or our email is info@michael@abanye.com. Send us a message. Just send growth. Then we will follow up and send you the necessary information. Don't forget, what we're actually offering is what? Consistent income, better clients, clear business direction, more freedom and control. If that sounds like what you are interested in, join us and send us a message. Thank you very much for watching us today. I'm excited already. Today, day 5 of how to turn your skills or business into consistent income. Even if you are struggling with what you have learned today, I believe you have gotten value from it. If you got value from today's episode, do us a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Share this so that more people can get to know about this. Thank you very much for joining us today. Never you forget, no one lives long enough to make all the mistakes. We learn from those ahead. Tomorrow, day 6, it is going to be hot. Tell your neighbor it's going to be hot. Invite someone that is not here because we're going deeper on how to make this business and make this money work. Thank you, and do have a blessed day. I remain your humble boy, Michael ABANYE. And see you tomorrow, West African time, 6 p.m. God bless you. If I try today, what's happen? Thank God, though. I hope we don't close, though. I hope you don't close for them. I see the show. Paulo.